the importance of receiving revelation through the prophet. The saints were told that no one should teach in the name of the Lord unless they had been appointed by the Holy Ghost. This was a critical lesson for the saints, especially as they navigated the early days of the church. There was much confusion in the world about truth, and the Lord wanted to make it clear that only through his chosen servant, Joseph Smith, could the true gospel be taught. The early 1830s were a time of religious fervor in America, with many people claiming to have received revelations and teachings from God. This period, often referred to as the Second Great Awakening, saw a rise in new religious movements, which made it harder for people to discern true doctrine from false teachings. In this climate, Joseph Smith was called to stand as the prophet of the Restoration. The revelation in D and C 43 helped to set the course for the church, ensuring that the saints would be guided by the proper authority. In Doctrine and Covenants 44, we find another powerful message from the Lord. He calls the saints to prepare to meet him and to be ready to go into the world to preach the gospel. This wasn't just a call to action for the saints in Kirtland, but for all members of the church, as they were soon to be sent out on missions to gather others to the faith. At this time, the saints were still learning how to organize themselves. Many had come to Ohio with the hopes of finding peace and refuge, but instead they were met with opposition. They had yet to see the full blessings of the gospel in their lives, but the Lord was calling them to act in faith and to be prepared to meet him. Despite the challenges, they faced persecution, poverty, and uncertainty. The saints were asked to trust in God's timing and to prepare themselves spiritually for the work ahead. As we reflect on Doctrine and Covenants, section 41 to 44, we see the Lord's clear direction for the early saints and for us today. He calls us to be prepared, to live in unity, to follow the prophet, and to consecrate our lives to his service. The early saints faced unimaginable trials, yet they were asked to stand firm in their faith, trusting that God would guide them through the storm. Think about your own life. How are you preparing to follow the Lord's guidance in your own way? In what areas can you live more united with others, share your resources, and trust in the prophet's counsel? These lessons from the past are just as relevant for us today as they were for the saints in Kirtland. May we all strive to be ready to meet the Lord, to be prepared to follow his commandments, and to serve one another in love and unity, just as the early saints did. Thanks for watching.